got a truck, you got a trailer, you got hands, come pick up these trees and help us put it somewhere, please.
Tonight on your 5 News at 6, we'll continue our team coverage following that EF3 tornado that touched down yesterday in Springdale, leaving a path of destruction across the city.
And I'm 5 News anchor Erica Thomas live here in Springdale. We'll show you more of that damage and the cleanup efforts already underway.
Thanks for joining us for your 5 News at 6. I'm Darren Bob. Erica will join us a bit later on, as she mentioned, to talk about cleanup efforts in one neighborhood hit very hard with that tornado from yesterday. Matt joining us now to tell us the path of this storm. Not on the ground very long, but it did cause a lot of damage.
8 minutes, Darren. That's all we had. 8 minutes. This thing quickly spun up and then it was gone. But we wanted to give you a 3D visualization of this tornado as if you were walking right beside it as it marched through northwest Arkansas. So here's the path from a bird's eye view, but let's go lower. Let's show you where the tornado started. There was a circulation that was kind of over I-49, Fulbright Expressway, but once it crossed the Fulbright Expressway, kind of near the target, went north, right at the Malco Theater. This is the Malco Theater. All of a sudden, this thing started to spin up. In fact, that first inflow that really started to wrap this thing up took out the glass on the front of the Razorback Cinema there on the north side of Fayetteville. Here's the parking lot, so it's charged right along the parking lot. Then it went north and east. It kind of hit that strip mall where you've got the Shoguns, you've got the Smitty's Garage, where along Joyce, you see the power line down and light poles down as well. This was an EF0. This whole time, I'm going to keep the timestamps up here. We're going to go minute by minute. And I also have the status of the tornado. This is all coming from the National Weather Service and the estimated wind speeds. Wind speeds started to pick up once it crossed Joyce and headed towards the Northwest Arkansas Mall. But then it went down that hill right into Johnson, knocked out a cell phone tower, and this really wrapped up for a second as it went down the hill. This is along Main Drive there, Johnson. That's just next to the Golden Corral there as you're going from Main Drive to US 71. Then it went closer to US 71, getting close to the Outback. This is the Brashears Furniture Center. You can see lots of damage there. It started to weaken a little bit. We went back to EF1 status, but there's the tornado. Then it crossed US 71, going right over the golf course with the Springdale Country Club, going right where Erica Thomas is this evening, Fairway Drive. It weakened just a touch, went back to a very strong EF1 tornado, 94 miles per hour, and then things really ramped up. This thing quickly increased. In 1 minute, went from EF1 to an EF3, 143 miles per hour as it hit the George Elementary School. This is when the debris really started to go several thousand feet into the air, and it widened too, hitting that gymnasium, just completely toppling it. When the National Weather Service got to the elementary school, they said, hey, we got to update this. This has to be upgraded to an EF3. Then it crossed over Turner and Powell, went towards the Nilfisk plant, still an EF3, 143 miles per hour, 410 now. Complete destruction there on the receiving end. But then as it went towards the airport, it started to quickly decrease. In 1 minute, it went back down to an EF1 status, hitting that airport anchor. You can see some of the damage there. And then, Darren, it went one more mile about northeast for another minute or so towards Emma Street, back down to EF0, and then this thing was gone. How many times do we get an EF3 tornado, though? Well, here on the left, I've got Northwest Arkansas, River Valley on the right. One of that probably is the first on our memory, 1996, hitting a big population center, hit Fort Smith. Darren, we don't get these very often, but when these do and they hit big population centers, you get a lot of damage. We'll talk more about our forecast coming up.
Okay, all right, Matt, thanks. We do have live team coverage where the heaviest damage reported. We begin with my partner, Erica Thomas. One of the hardest hit neighborhoods is where she is right now at Fairway Circle by Springdale Country Club. Erica, cleanup efforts going full steam right now.
Yeah, Darren, we've been out here all afternoon, and in just the last 20 minutes or so, we spoke with homeowner Joseph Webb. He was here cleaning up his home that was one of the hardest hit here, 700 Fairway Circle. You can actually see in this courtyard area, the roof has been pulled off this home. This large beam was actually about 15 feet away. It was part of the support that held up his garage. There was actually a garage here. You can see where this red trailer was. This was a covered garage that has now been fully demolished because it was pulled down by those tornado winds that ripped through here. And a few yards away, over here in the yard, this is actually his garage door, twisted and mangled. You couldn't even tell it was a garage door at first, but that was ripped off and thrown through the yard here. Joseph was describing to us all the impact in this neighborhood, that he and his wife was almost stuck outside as this storm ripped through. They were able to shelter inside quickly, though, with their animals and be okay. They'd only been in this home for a year and had just finished a remodeling process. Now they're thinking they could be out of it for another 7 to 12 months if it's able to be saved. But Joseph also spoke to the resiliency of this neighborhood. He said from the moment this storm hit, neighbors were out here helping each other. They've lost some large trees. They've had a lot of damage. His neighbor's home just to the right side of him is a total loss, but still they are rebuilding. But I did ask him about the emotion. What does it feel like to look at his home in this state? And he said right now it's just an emptiness, a hollowness. Thankfully, he and his family are able to stay with friends down in Fayetteville, and they will be looking for more permanent housing in the future. And that's something that a lot of people in this neighborhood are going to have to do here in the weeks and months to come, because many of these homes are unlivable. Now, while I was in the neighborhood earlier, I did speak with Springdale Mayor Doug Sprouse, who came out to look at the damage as well, and spoke with him about the resiliency of this community and about everyone working together for these cleanup efforts. Take a listen.
Initially, you think, this is terrible, and it is for those affected. And we continue to pray for the 2 people that are in the hospital. But it's a miracle that we've got 2 people in the hospital with the devastation we've seen here. But at the same time, it's so encouraging to see people want to come out and help so much. Hey, we live in a great place.
We definitely do live in a great community, and the mayor did say if you'd like to come out and help, the central location for volunteers right now is the Springdale Rec Center. You can call over there and sign up for volunteer efforts, or you can just stop by and figure out where they need your help the most. They also did tell us that Public Works will be coming through these neighborhoods and picking up debris. So long as those piles of debris are cut into pieces of 4 feet or less, they will be able to pick them up for all residents in the city. So just make sure you call Public Works or flag down a truck as it's driving around to pick up that debris in your neighborhood. And if you're looking for resources, whether you're looking to help or you need help, you can go to the city's website or their Facebook page. There's a long list of resources available there, but you can really see everyone bonding together and really helping each other out throughout this process. This is the impact in local neighborhoods. 5 News reporter Michael Wilson has spent the day seeing the impact on our schools. George Elementary, the worst hit of the Springdale School District. Let's check in with him now to find out how they're rebuilding on this second day after the storm. Micah?
Erica, yeah, those cleanup efforts are still happening here at George Elementary School. I was here yesterday and I was quite a far ways away from it, but it looked like what appeared to be 10 to 12 feet of storm debris. And now that that's been removed, I can see the foundation, and I want you all to take a walk with me because we're also starting to see other things. We're starting to see things like bicycles out here. We're also seeing basketball goals, much more. We're also seeing those large beams that these crews have been working to pick up. Now, earlier today, we've got here at around 2 o'clock, and I saw that they filled this truck up at least twice, filling it up, and you can see there's still lots of debris here. And I want you to take a look at some of the video because we did speak with some staff at George Elementary. Now, we spoke with their principal, Justin Swope. He called the past 2 days a whirlwind. A strong tornado tore through his school's gym, which leveled it. The tornado also caused minor damage to the school's cafeteria. And today, cleanup. They're working to remove debris and replace missing parts of the cafeteria's roof, all while students and staff return to school to get a sense of normalcy, which George Elementary School staff felt is needed during this time. But before then, they spent the day making sure school was structurally safe to reopen so those students can get back inside, and they made sure staff and students were safe and checked on their immediate needs.
Making sure that they, have what they need to function through the school day, to see what the immediate needs are once they head back to their families today, checking in with families, seeing what resources they currently need.
And one message that the school staff wanted me to pass along to you is thank you. They say it is a community effort, so they truly thank everyone. For now, we're live here in Springdale, covering news where you live. Mike Wilson, 5 News.
All right, Micah, thanks. In the days to come, our neighbors are going to need help cleaning up this extensive damage. One neighborhood that was hard hit, Woodbridge Estates, which has several mobile homes, from trees falling onto houses and cars to RVs flipping on their side. That tornado did a lot of damage in the Woodbridge neighborhood. Today, they're asking for more volunteers to come help them. People in that neighborhood say they're thankful for the help they've gotten already, but say they need a lot more because there are a lot of these trees that are down.
When we first saw everything, that tornado hit, kind of saw Powell Street, we were a little concerned. We were probably on the path, but like I said, fortunately nothing happened on our location. And you know, being neighbors to everybody over here that was affected, you know, we said we can do something. You know, it's not much, but at least it's something that we can provide for people.
Meanwhile, organizations have also been out providing support to those in need across Springdale following yesterday's storm. For everybody displaced by the storm damage, the Red Cross has set up a shelter at Journey Church in Springdale. Meanwhile, Salvation Army serving dinner tonight until 7 o'clock for victims at Woodbridge and Brookhaven Apartments.